Today, ke batla re tlo bua ka ntho ena e bitswang low self-esteem. Because how far you go in life depends on what you believe about yourself or what you think about yourself. What determines your success, your failures, and how far you go and the things that you're able to achieve, it really depends on how do you see yourself. Because sometimes and most of the time how you see yourself the picture of how they should see you. How do people treat you. If you don't know who you are, if you're not sure about who you are, if you're not sure about your value, that also reflects on how people treat you and how people see you. So let's talk about the impact of low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is how. Let's look first at what is self-esteem before the low. Because if there's low, it means there's high. So let's look at what is self-esteem. Self-esteem is basically the way you think about yourself. The way you think about yourself. What you think about yourself. Kiona, self-esteem. How do you esteem yourself? How do you view yourself? Kiona to you. And now, most of the time you look about, we do tend to be hard on ourselves. We do tend to criticize ourselves here and there. Hey, what's that was stupid? Hey, what's that? Hey, we do that now and again. But if you find yourself in a place where you have a negative view about yourself, you can say just one day, by doing that I was stupid. But if every day how you see yourself as a stupid person, that where low self-esteem comes in. If you say, hey man, I'm ugly. Sometimes you can look at the mirror and say, hey man, I'm not looking good today. But if every day you think yourself as an ugly person, so that's where low self-esteem can come in. So what you believe about yourself, so low self-esteem is the belief system. So how to saying this is what I believe about yourself. When you do things, this is how I believe or what I believe about myself. Now, the second question would be, what causes low self-esteem? Because if you have low self-esteem, it's not just something that just happened during. You just woke up one morning and then you viewed yourself negatively. It doesn't just happen like that. It means there is a cause to if you're thinking I'm very ugly, if you're thinking I'm a stupid person, if you're thinking I will never amount to anything, there must be a source. These thoughts or those feelings. This one thing. I'm going to mention a few so that you can trace. Because what I believe is that before you can fix anything, before you can solve a problem, you have to understand the source and the cause of that problem. Because if how do now we look at. So if you know you have low self-esteem, then the first thing is you have to understand what is the cause setting before you go to the remedy, or before you go to how do I fix this or how do I improve it. The biggest thing it causing low self-esteem. Right from the beginning, sometime behind the or more holiday day. When I bank for granted. How no hola. Whether you can look at it as a simple thing, but you find around there were some words telling anybody when I was because sometimes you can when I'm driving around, hey, I don't know how those things as you grow, because but what about how they have a great impact on how they can shape your future. They can shape how you because but what about are the first people that you meet. Number one, wow. Then but your closest, your parents and the closest people, those are the first people that you encounter. So it means, and how you will empty. When you will just empty. So the words that they're going to speak during those few years of your life, those are the words that are going to shape how you see yourself and how you even see the world. So they say certain things. And the banana kind of banana or right papa, like I go take banana. they will say something, hey, when I'm calling hey, when I'm what's up to why not all those things? You don't realize that Mantsui have got the power to shape. Mantsui, people underestimate the power of words. That's why the baby the first thing everyone baby link lightning, who in the beginning God created and God said, Yaba mudimu ore, yaba huba jwalo. Come on, somebody, it was a word, somebody speaking, it was God. So that should tell you how powerful words are, and powerful have the power to create. Words have the power to create. So they have the power to create the way you're gonna see yourself, or even the way uto. So the first thing you know, I will never amount to anything. When I think they're around 6 or something years. That's how about 4. One of those boys was saying, but the way I know and I free so and no, that is the language. So even the language you want know language so everything is something that has been shaped from the house. So Matwadi must be very careful on the things that they say. They should not take it for granted. I'm just playing. They are shaping the view. They are shaping the view about themselves also. So those, that's the first thing that can cause exposed to. That's number one. But Twadi can be, because they are the first people that. Number two, let disapproval from authorities. Like how supervisor how there's nothing positive that they say about you. They're always criticizing. Anywhere there is a person who is in authority, because what they say to you also has power, has impact. So sometimes the thing that they say, how they criticize you, how they can create a low self-esteem, even in that space. That's number two. The third one that is very painful, Yona. Forms of abuse can create a low self-esteem. Here we're talking about sexual abuse, we're talking about physical abuse, and we're talking about emotional abuse. Any form of abuse, the first thing is shapan, is self-esteem. Because you look at your life, because when somebody abuses you physically, they overpower you, they make you feel like a nothing. The way you feel like a nobody. When somebody abuses you sexually, they are inviting your most private places. They are invading your soul. They are invading who you are. So when they invade that, they are killing the sense of what you think about yourself. Abuse sexually, you feel like a nothing. You feel like sometimes you blame yourself. Hey, so that knocks you so deeply, especially in the sexual abuse and the emotional abuse, because they go to your soul. They mess with your soul. How much our abuse that emotionally? It doesn't affect you on the outside, but it affects your soul. And to recover from something that has touched your soul, it is a very difficult process. Because when not to say with aim with bigger than the other, but when you abuse physically, you can just move away from that space of abuse. It is easier not it's easy, but there is a possibility. So you're just moving out of that state of abuse physical. Mara emotionally. Abuse emotionally. But the effect starting to do that little way, because this person, they mess with your soul. And it is not easy. That's why this program is soul healing. Because a lot of people and how do they get out of it? So now when I say soul empowerment, now moya wa hao tshwanetse o tiiswe na hore okay ntho tse ke fitlileng hara tsona, how do I recover from this and how do I be empowered? So sexual abuse, physical abuse and emotional abuse, they can knock down a person's self-esteem like nobody else. So that is number cause. Enngwe bana dikolong, bullying, you know, how do you bully us school or wherever you are? And sometimes we can think who are being bullied. People are being bullied in their workplaces. You know, bullying is not a child thing. I think even you know, they can just say anything to you. How right a fella, how some fella, you know, how criticize. That's another part of bullying. And that also it creates a low self-esteem. How has never done well in school. That on its own is destroys your self-esteem. Maybe I'm stupid, maybe not thinking because we are school. So those are some of the things. Within the religious space, where guilt within the space. No, how's I teaching water? Hey, how's I teaching there's going to be a curse upon your life? Hey, how's I teaching you know that thing of being taken on a guilt trip within the religious space. Leonard told hey, healing. So it creates low self-esteem. Now you just want to do anything because of how you know. We are led by love and we lead people by love, not by guilt. How is healing? That's not how we do. The last one, the social standards, this is doing, especially in this time whereby we are so influenced by social media. And social media, it creates certain standards. Come on, the standard of success, se create one, ki social media or even the society. Who successful. Santu Wemi G63 country. Something that Batula and golf estate. That's how we measure success. If Tatema Kume Kenalaga Korea Hantlefella, Aitulela townhouse in money, that's not a measure of success. So Liruna, as a person, you look at the standards set to in the society of success. And if you are not there, if you're not matching those standards, you feel like you're not a success. You feel like you're not a failure. And here you got a decent job, you've got a decent car, you're living in a decent house. But high matches standard is to win. We are going up, you are a failure. So that's why people end up back in the is to boost it will boost the self-esteem. Sometimes into the one number to hasn't your motor can need to call you unai hawk. Hasn't our nice hawk G63 year unai hawk no. That car it is just a car to boost self-esteem. Yeah. It's not that Tatima Kumona Utula SE8. Tatima Kumona night to let a guest out into 100 descent 3-bedroom shop. Mana because Tatima Kumes self-esteem efforts and a society in the holy manner. So that Tatima go to Kenya school to have 2 million. Only to boost self-esteem. Yeah. So we do all these things. A simple thing as a phone. No, that no, I need to have an iPhone. I need to have this. No, it's not that I need because the phone, as long as the phone, WhatsApping, getting pictures and stuff, that's a nice phone. But because I have low self-esteem, I want to buy a phone. It's something. So now we end up with you end up on the contract, you end up like a loan, you end up with simply because you're trying to match up to the standard. Because when you don't see any worth. Yeah, I don't see worth myself. So I have to have things so that, and not even me, so that Batu, I am of value. Because most of the things that that have to do with low self-esteem. We want people to see us in a certain way. If I buy this car, I'm not buying it for myself. I'm buying it so that people, when they look at me, they see my value. Because outside of those things, I don't see any value. Now you do teaching. How I'm valuable. There's no value. So in order for me to see that value, or also for people, most importantly, to see value on me, I have to attach all these things. Even if it means I have to get into debt to get them. Even if I have to sleep with somebody to get it. Even if it means I have to rob somebody. Even if it means I have to steal. I'm going to do this thing to boost my self-esteem. It's got nothing to do else.
So, and they also how do you enjoy it?
That's the worst thing about your life. It's like, okay, because the self-worth, that's why how to work out self-esteem. It is what you think about yourself. Self-esteem is an internal thing. That's why I point you you cannot fix self-esteem because self-esteem is an internal thing. It's a mind thing. That's why when I talk about abuse, I get emotional abuse and say the reason they are so powerful and impactful is because they affect the inside. How? So that's why you can do. You know what happens when people, most of the people when they've been abused, how the opposite side of that, how they self-destruct. They find themselves to close this gap in. Who has been sexually abused, this is the one person who's also mostly sexually active. Because what they are doing, they are trying to cover this thing, which is not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but the way it's in a negative way that impacted them negatively. So when you keep calling to it, I must find a way to create the very same thing. That's why they'll have multiple sexual partners, because what are they doing? So that's how people do things. When you've gone through things, we are trying to mask it into. We are trying to cover it into, because we think my worth is based on the things that I have. My worth is based on the car that I drive. My worth is based on the kind of wife that I'm dating. You know, that's why some guys in jail, they just like beautiful women. It's not that they are after that woman because of the beauty or whatever. It's booster esteem the place came to a standstill, and that's what you want. And also that's why the relationship, most relationships these days don't last. It's because people, you are with this person because of what they add to you, or how nalibona. That's when you feel you are worth something. That's when people will see value on me. That's when people, and Ntozo had it last, because they're just trying to cover something that is internal. The value that you need to have is the value that must come from the inside. Because Mara, when you sit at home with the iPhone, but you're miserable. A big 4-bedroom house and a swimming pool, but you're feeling useless, you're feeling worthless with all those things, because it is not a matter of the. So now, how do you low self-esteem? Relationships don't work. You know, you can't get into certain businesses because you think very little of yourself. You can't apply for certain jobs because you think very little of yourself. You can't go certain places. So it creates this space where you are not able to tolerate simply because of what I think about myself. I don't think I can achieve that. I don't think I can be this great business person. I don't think I can run a successful business. I don't think I can run a successful church. I don't think I can do all these things. It's all about what you think about yourself. So it creates a lot of hindrances of now. How do you work on your self-esteem? How do you work on rebuilding your self-esteem? The first thing, you must identify negative beliefs about yourself. That's the first thing. Identify. Like when I started in the beginning, I said, in order for you to deal with something, to fix something, you have to identify the cause. What causes it? So when it comes to self-esteem, Because it's a mental thing, because it's a mind thing, because it's what you think about yourself. Identify those thoughts. Do you think you are stupid? What makes you think you are stupid? Do you think you are ugly? What makes you think you are ugly? What are you basing your physical features? Who are you comparing that to? How you are comparing yourself to what? Because you comparing Lena, you don't know Lena speeding over so you comparing yourself with an illusion that people have. So identify those things. What is it that I think about that myself that's negative? You identify that. Then how you counteract negative is you counteract it by positive. If you write 5 things down that you say, Kimobi, I'm stupid and all that, then the next thing is you need to replace that. What is it that is good about me? Because no matter how ugly or bad you are, there must be 1 or 2 things. What is it that is good about me? And you write those things down. And those are the things that you need to meditate on. Those are the things that you need to focus on. Keep finding things good about your life. And then they'll just keep going down. And counteract them. I am beautiful. Even if Unona Naurumubi. Because I said in the beginning, there is power in words. If you think I'm ugly, go to the mirror every day. Speak to yourself. I'm actually beautiful. I'm not stupid. I'm actually intelligent. And start working on that. Now, how do I, if I say I'm stupid, what is it that I need to do to increase my knowledge? I'm stupid. I'm stupid because of what? Because I didn't finish matric. Okay, let me find another way of doing matric. What is it that I need to study? What is it that you counteract that? You work on everything that you felt is negative about you. And focus on yourself. When at the end of the day, you must feel good about yourself. Build positive relationships. That's another one. Surround yourself with people who are positive. Surround yourself with people who will speak positive things over your life. Build those kind of relationships. And lastly, you need to be easy on yourself and be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Hey, I'm stupid. Why did I do that? How can I do? Forgive yourself. Doesn't get a mistake. It's that you just need to forgive yourself and think and believe that no, those things, my mistake are not what defines me. My past doesn't define me. The things that were done to me, they don't define me. I decide, I define myself for what kind of a person that I am. And you speak that to yourself. And those are just some of the little things that you can start doing practically to improve, to boost, and to rebuild your self-confidence. That work.
Hey, Apostle. How to felletswe ke mantswe ka hanong. Aske ka tseba go ke etseng Apostle mme ka nnete he ke a leba ka molaetsa o matla Apostle ebile ka nnete ke a tshepa go fihlile go mmamedi wa tshebeletso ya Sedibeng FM. Apostle ba o fumana ka jalo di socials di dinomoro mo le re ka nnete ba ka tla ba o fumana teng bakeng la mantswe a kgothatso ke a tsaya ka nnete o na le buka o go ba fe hanyenyana o re fumana hala jwang buka ena Apostle.
That's what. Ntshware WhatsApp 061 504 2892. 061 504 2892. That's a WhatsApp line. Otherwise, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channel, just search for Sammy Ralekholela on all these social media platforms. How can Sammy Ralekholela fella utamthola utsona kamo? Kena le book e Purpose Behind Pain. The powerful book why ufita kara dintozo ufita kara tsona and how do you get through those painful experiences to be in your life. Purpose Behind Pain. Ke a leboha mamedi ha le mametse le bang shebeletse mo ke a le leboha ke le rata haholo.